Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm glad that you guys came to keep it filmed with me once again. Hey, I told myself that I definitely was not going to bring up the Ukraine and Russia things that are going on right now, war that is going on right now. But I feel like I would be wrong not to talk about it. And today, some more news just broke. There was a reporter, an American reporter or journalist that lost his life today in Ukraine, being caught in the middle of the battle. So, um, since he's a reporter, he's a journalist, he's in the media. That's right along the lines of keeping it film with me. That's one of our film families. So I definitely want to talk about that a little bit. And I would be crazy to not talk about all the other insane things that are going on over there. Russians blowing up maternity wards, Russians blowing up apartment complexes that they know are occupied by innocent women and children, and innocent men who didn't ask for this. That's really the most craziest part about it. I understand this war and innocent bystanders get hurt, innocent bystanders die. I get that concept, I understand that, but that doesn't make it right. And I don't care whose side. I don't care if you are a Biden supporter. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter. I don't care if you are with Putin and what he's doing, and I really don't care. What we need to look at is that there are innocent kids dying in this. Innocent kids being bombed while they're asleep in their beds. I need you to step back, close your eyes, and think about that being your kid laying in bed and a bomb goes off when they're sleeping. Think about that. Remove yourself from being this political tyrant person, and just think about you being in the shoes of some of the people that are going through this right now. It's crazy. So I definitely wanted to, get you guys up to date. Today, there was a journalist, an American journalist, that was actually killed. Brent Renaud was actually killed in the middle of combat in Ukraine today. And here's a little bit of the clip.
We're also getting word of the first U.S. police there say American journalist Brent Renaud was killed by Russian forces in Irpin. CNN's Scott McLean joining me now live from Lviv, and CNN Chief International Correspondent Clarissa Ward is live for us in Kyiv. Scott, to you first. The base is just 11 miles from the border. In fact, instead, I'm going to go to you, Clarissa. We'll try to reestablish our connection with Scott in a moment. But Clarissa, what more are you learning from where you are? And I do want to ask you about the area of Irpin, where the American journalist was killed. That was an area where we saw you showing us refugees who were crowding under the bridge, finding escape.
That's right, Frederica. I mean, this was an area where a lot of international journalists and Ukrainian journalists have been spending a good deal of time, because it was the place here in the city where you could see that sort of tide of humanity flooding in from...
See, let's pause here. A lot of you guys might not think that it's a big deal for a journalist / reporter to get murdered in the middle of this type of situation. You might say, hey, yeah, where they're putting themselves out there. Think about the news that you're sitting at home watching. Think about the updates that you get about these wars and these political battles that take place and that come about. Who do you think reports on that? Who do you think goes out into the field and gathers that news for you to watch in the comfort of your home? So if you're saying and sitting back, well, it's no big deal that this guy died. It's a huge deal. It's a very huge deal. Without men and women out in the field covering these stories, we have no idea what's going on. And we need to know what's going on. because the U.S.'s name has been brought up numerous times already in this conflict between Ukraine and Russia. All right? So it's highly important that we have reporters and journalists on the field gathering this news. All right? For you to watch in the comfort of your home. So yes, this is a big deal. Don't just brush this off and say, well, it's just another reporter that died.
Some of these hardest hit suburbs, that suburb of Irpin, we were just there a couple of days ago. From what we understand, U.S. journalist Brent Renaud and also another photographer, Juan Arredondo, were in Irpin today covering this story and came under heavy fire. Brent, as we know, was killed very tragically. Juan appears to be okay. He's in the hospital getting treated for some kind of a gunshot injury. All of this underscoring the tremendous danger
prayers up to
of
Brent's
covering
family.
this story, but more importantly, I think,
Be with Juan.
underscoring the fact that Ukrainian civilians are constantly facing multiple types of targeting.
I want to bring in one of Brent's friends, his longtime friend, Christoph Putzel. I believe we have you on Skype, Christoph. Thank you for coming on. I'm very, very sorry for your loss, and I'm glad you can be here and tell us a bit about Brent. How did you find out about his death? What have you learned so far today, Christoph?
I woke up this morning to the news that Brent, longtime best friend, incredible colleague, the best war journalist I think ever existed, finding out about his passing. You know, Brent had this ability to go anywhere, get any story, listen.
That's what I'm telling you guys.
What was happening?
That's what I'm telling you.
People that otherwise wouldn't
These people are willing to go on the front line, just like a soldier, to get these stories for you to watch in the comfort of your home.
What do you know
It's a
about
big
what he
deal
was
that this
doing
man
with his
died.
colleagues in Ukraine? Was he working on a documentary?
Yeah, he was working on a documentary about refugees. It was a story he was doing around the world, and when the crisis in Ukraine happened, Brent was on the plane the next day, and he was covering a story about refugees coming out of Kiev into Poland, and that's what we know.
I remember you worked with him.
Once again, prayers up to Brent and his family. Prayers up for Juan, who's in the hospital suffering from gunshot wounds. And just prayers up to everybody who is caught in the midst of this mess, man. Like, I myself even contemplated the idea of, possibly traveling to Ukraine to help. I don't have my passport right now, but it did cross my mind. The thoughts did cross my mind. And let me tell you, I honestly don't care what race you are. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care what, background you have. But when you have kids that are thrown in the middle of chaos and being surrounded by bombs and bullets and a whole bunch of other terror, to say that you don't care about that, you have to be a person that has no heart. And that's not me. So, like I said, this is a big deal that this gentleman, Brent, has died. We need to protect our reporters. We need to protect our journalists. They are the ones that are giving us the updates, the ones that are breaking this news for us to watch in the comfort of our home, so we know what is going on a daily with this Ukraine and Russian war. All right? Because without them, we don't know what type of involvement the U.S. has. We don't know what Putin is saying about the U.S. being involved. We don't know about the state of the innocent, poor Ukrainians that are caught in the middle of this. We don't know about the state of the Russians who don't want to be involved in this, who's being forced to. I like to be updated about all that. You know what I mean? I like to know if and when my family, the people that I know and love, will be affected by this conflict that's going on. So, like I said, much respect to Brent and his family. Much respect to Juan. Much respect to any reporter slash journalist who is on the front line right now covering this story. That is a highly dangerous job, and I give all kudos to you. Big ups to all of you. All right. Like I said, no matter what stance you take, I don't care if you're for Trump. I don't care if you're for Biden. I don't care if you're for Putin, if you're on his side. There's innocent bystanders being killed on the daily. Kids and women and innocent men being killed on a daily. Caught in the middle of this, that don't deserve to be caught in the middle of this, that don't want to be caught in the middle of this. All right? So I had to talk about this. I told myself I wasn't going to talk about this war on this channel, but reporters are falling, journalists are falling, and that's right up the alley of film. So I have to speak on it. I have to speak on the chaos that's going on. I have to speak on the fact that there's maternity wards being blown up in Ukraine right now. There's refugees that are stranded in Ukraine right now that want to get their lives on a daily, like Brent. Just to cover this news, to keep us updated from the comforts of our home. All right, so I highly respect that. And like I said, rest in peace to Brent. Prayers go out to Juan, and prayers go out to any other reporter slash journalist who's over there right now on the front line getting this story for us to stay updated. Okay? Hey, keep it filmed with me. Come back. We got more interviews dropping. We have more trailers coming out. And we're going to have more film advice coming out on the daily as well. So just stick with the channel. Hit that subscriber button, hit that notification button so you guys get notified each time I drop a video. And once again, my prayers go out to Ukraine, and the craziness that they're facing right now. All right. Hey, stay up, stay productive. Peace.